Thanks for inviting me here. So I'm Tørudbakken. I'm General Manager of Graphcore in Norway and also SVP and Chief System Product Architect of Graphcore's system product. Through this presentation, I will give you a very quick introduction to Graphcore and our technology. And I'll also talk about some application areas for AI and what existing current engagement we already have with research and academia. Fundamentally, we believe as a company that we are at a crossroads in machine intelligence, where basically a new compute architecture is required to enable many of the new breakthroughs in the ability of machines to learn from experience. The godfather of AI, Jeff Hinton, was interviewed by Wired magazine, and he was asked the question, how might we build machine learning systems that function more like a brain? And his answer was that I think we need to move towards a new type of computer, and he basically showcased our processor chip. So Graphcore, who are we? So Graphcore is a Bristol, UK technology company that was established in 2016. The company has designed a new processor from the ground up that actually consider the requirements of AI and machine intelligence workloads. We have worldwide presence, and outside of UK, the other main R&D site is actually in Oslo, Norway. So we have raised 700 million of venture capital, and we have some very notable and respected investors from the AI community, including Peter Beal, Demis Hassabis from DeepMind, and a number of other notable people. So that's the company. What do we do? The foundation of the company, that is our processor. We have the IPU, and we really are doing two key differentiators. One is the memory itself on the chip. We have close to 1 gigabyte of on-chip memory that enable you to store a much larger model on chip than on competitive solutions. And we have an order of magnitude higher memory bandwidth. Also, we have an order of magnitude more parallelism due to a MIMD architecture, which is short for multiple instruction and multiple data, which in particular is very suited for AI and graph models. Just briefly on, so this is our products today. So we have packaged our processors into one new pizza boxes that we call the IPU machine. That is network attached, so you can basically add it to your existing system through and connect it via Ethernet. And you can take the IPU machine and rack and stack it into what we refer to as IPU pods that we package into a rack, and then you can scale up to 1024 racks. So that's the hardware. Probably the most important thing is really the software side. So our software stack is called Poplar. it comes it comes with native C++ interfaces. So you can actually program directly to Poplar. And it also includes support for all the key machine intelligence frameworks, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Paddle, Hugging Face, and so forth. And the usual front ends as Jupyter notebooks and so forth. Yeah, so this is marketing, so I'll quickly skip that. This basically compare our solution against the GPU. This is running an existing legacy CNN called ResNet 50, and it measures time to train. So this is a newer CNN called EfficientNet, in which more like amplify the benefit of a new architecture optimized for machine intelligence. So that was the marketing. What is the key areas that we are working towards today? So one is data center and hyperscalers. We see that AI is used a lot in search and also recommender systems, and it's primarily natural language processing. Scientific research, things like weather forecasting, climate research, cosmology, that is an increasing thing. And we also see the merge of traditional high-performance computing with AI. Healthcare is becoming more and more important. Drug discovery, genomics, pandemic simulation, and also medical imaging. Finance, anything from forecasting to clever, insurance. Automotive, and also smart cities, in which you can use data from IoT sensors as input to train models that you again use to monitor how the city operates. So very quickly, on COVID-19 prediction, we did a paper, or the research group at Graphcore did a study with in UMass Amherst University, which we used probabilistic modeling to model pandemic. Things like infection rate, recovery rate, and positive test rate, and basically monitor and look at the spread. Another example is from molecular dynamics simulations, in which we've partnered with a company called DP Technology that has been using AI for things like drug discovery, new material design, and also scientific research. Medical imaging, another example, Microsoft did some really good work using some new CNN models to classify pneumonia. That was company called Sensoro has been using our technology for smart city applications that is being used for things like smart fire protection, for instance, e-bike charging that is again leading to fires, things like emergency flood preventions at rivers and so forth. And Insurance is another example where a company like Tractable is using AI and CNNs for accident and also disaster recovery. Yeah, and financial forecasting I mentioned. Cosmology is another example. So so that talk briefly, introduced to some of the application areas that we see or applied use of AI today. Graphcore has been having a long engagement with the academia, both, throughout the world, both in US, and Europe. In Norway, we hosted a workshop with Nora, a half-day workshop prior to Christmas. We've had a long-standing relation with similar research laboratory in Oslo. Our technology is part of EX3, which is a national resource for research in HPC and AI computing, in which there is, I think, close to 150 researchers that is using that technology. And we have also, again, together with similar participating in a Horizon 2020 program called Sparsity, that is looking at new and novel ways to use energy efficient AI. So that's a very short and quick introduction to Graphcore and what we do. So thank you.